This week, Raleigh City Council issued an apology. The approved resolution acknowledges the lingering effects of slavery and Jim Crow on black families. WRL's Shelley Jackson joining us live now. Shelley, you spoke to some folks who say this apology is not enough.
Well, that's right, Dan. They said the apology and the resolution just doesn't have any teeth. Now, that resolution does say that city and state local governments do have a moral obligation to pass and create policies, programs, and to allocate funding to address the harm that was done to the African American community. Community activist Cara Sanders says the Raleigh City Council fell short in their apology for slavery.
I know their hearts are in the right place. But it is not enough.
The council unanimously approved the resolution Wednesday. It acknowledges African Americans have been unjustly enslaved, lynched, segregated, and incarcerated, and experienced housing discrimination from government agencies and banks and other forms of discrimination. The resolution does call for governments to start reparative justice projects and address racial inequities, but the resolution stops short of offering any concrete plans of action.
Did you feel bad about those actions? And if you did, then why is it still happening?
Sanders says the apology feels like lip service.
Why are neighborhoods, historically black neighborhoods, being completely disseminated, destroyed, people of color being displaced? Why is it that there's a high proportion of people of color who are homeless?
Council members acknowledge they will not be moving fast on creating policies to reflect the resolution's intention.
It's been a process to get it to this point. So just the understanding that this isn't something that's going to be done immediately before the end of this year.
William Darity, professor of public policy at Duke, says true reparations can only happen at the federal level.
The federal government has the resources to conduct a comprehensive reparations plan, and states and localities do not.
Now, I reached out to mayor and council to ask what their plans are, what's the timeline. Only one council member replied to me and said they were unavailable for an interview. Dan?
All right, stay on it. Thank you, Shelley. Appreciate it. It is worth noting, Raleigh City Council said government has an obligation to adopt reparative justice policies. That's what they said. But did they do anything specifically? I mean, no committees, no funding, no promises were made. We've seen other city councils in our state take a step further in this process. In Asheville and Durham, for instance, Asheville committed $2 million to form a reparations commission. They expect to come up with some type of plan by next year. Durham put $6 million toward improving black neighborhoods and said they support federal reparations. Cities all over the United States are talking about reparations. Providence, Rhode Island, for instance, put millions toward job training and business investment. Evanston, Illinois, they committed millions for home repairs and down payments on homes. Cities like Austin and Kansas City, they have formed task forces. Raleigh did not do any of that. They almost did, but they took that part out of the declaration. The impact we'll see from the city's apology is unknown.